Hi there, my name is Russ Horn and welcome to the Role of a Broker video. We're going to learn what is a broker and why you need one, and the different kinds of brokers that are available to you. What is a broker? A Forex broker holds your trading account. Traders have access to the markets through a broker. Now, due to the advent of the internet, the little guy can open a trading account. It used to be that only somebody with the minimum of $100,000 could trade the Forex markets. But now, because of the online brokers, the little guy that has $250 can open a trading account. There are some brokers that will offer you a smaller trading account, $100. A couple will even offer less. But the little guy that doesn't have a lot of money, $100,000, can trade the FX markets. Brokers will often supply the charts that we use. Now, we can get the charts elsewhere, but every broker that provides you the service of getting into the markets and trading will supply you with some kind of technical chart that you can use to determine whether you'll be buying or selling. There are essentially two kinds of brokers. There's a dealing desk broker and there's a non-dealing desk broker. The non-dealing desk brokers can be broken down into the straight-through processors, or the STP, the Electronic Communications Network, or the ECN, or the direct market access brokers, or the DMA. First, we're going to take a look at the dealing desk broker. These brokers generally have fixed spreads. That's the charge they implement to get you into the market. Because they're fixed, you're going to know what the charge is every time you get into a trade. And it's going to generally be the same no matter what's going on in the world or the time of day. The dealing desk broker will take the opposite side of your trade. This means if you are buying, they are selling, and vice versa. What this means, we drill down a little further, is if you win a trade, it comes from them. The money that you win comes out of their account. If you lose a trade, that money that you've lost goes into that broker's account. There is no access through them to the market. Your trade is not in the interbank market. It is strictly between you and your broker. Dealing desk brokers are not affected by the news. They're not affected by liquidity issues either, so that when you place a trade, you'll get the trade. It's a straight across transaction. Now, dealing desk brokers are generally considered to have a fundamental conflict of interest with the account holders. Now, you can see how this works out. If you lose, they make money. So most traders are thinking that this is not cool. To have a broker that looks as though it's in their best interest for you not to win is not a desirable thing. Dealing desk brokers generally do not mess with their account holders. There's too much money to be made, and truth be told, most traders lose on their own, and the dealing desk does not need to help them along. But you can see where this conflict of interest lies. A non-dealing desk broker is the more desirable kind of broker among Forex traders. They will route your trades directly into the interbank market through what's called liquidity providers. Liquidity providers are entities like banks, hedge funds, market makers, and other brokers, and they get your money, your trade, into that market. They are not taking the opposite side of your trade. If you win a trade, that money comes from the market and not your broker. If you lose a trade, that money goes into the market, it gets absorbed by the interbank market, and does not get dumped into your broker's account. There are a few different kinds of non-dealing desk brokers. Now, the first kind is the straight-through processor, or the STP. The second is the Electronic Communications Network. And the third is the direct market access, or the DMA. The first, the straight-through processors, STP, they're a non-dealing desk broker, and they will initially take the opposite side of your trade and then pass that position on to their liquidity providers, the banks and brokers and things like this. If there is no immediate fill from their liquidity providers, you might experience a requote or a small delay in getting into the market. The next is the Electronic Communications Network, the ECN. These guys are different than the STP. They don't get you into the interbank market the same way the STP guys do. What the ECN does is link you with other participants like banks and market makers and hedge funds, but these are other traders that are taking the opposite position you are. So if you are buying the Euro USD, an ECN will hook you up with somebody who is selling the Euro USD. Now for this service, commission is generally charged. The spreads are very, very small, and there is a commission. And this commission for this service is how the ECN broker makes their money. The ECN guys are the most favorable kind of brokers. Traders would prefer an ECN non-dealing desk broker over all others. The difference from the STP broker, that it's instead of taking the opposite side of your trade and passing the position on to their liquidity providers, is they hook you up with liquidity providers instantly. You get good rate, there's no slippage, and no requotes. Now finally, we're looking at the direct market access, DMA. These guys only offer a 5-digit quote and have only variable spreads. Now, the spread comes directly from the liquidity providers with a small increase as the DMAs charge. There's no commission. Only price you pay is the spread. As the spread is variable, it means it fluctuates a little bit. Euro USD spread can go anywhere from 0.8 pips to 1.5 pips, or maybe 2. It'll float around there, but what you're seeing is the battle between liquidity providers, and whoever can provide the best liquidity will often have the lowest spread, and this is what the DMA guys will present to you, is the lowest spread at that time. And this can change from second to second. That's it for the kinds of brokers for the brokers video. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.